Alright folks, Sayu Rinpoche here. I am back at the Mexico City International Airport, this time by my choice, not because of a huge delay. And this time, let's kick off our 21-hour layover here in Mexico City. And what can you do? Okay, before it all starts, let's talk about the game plan. Mexico City International Airport is about a 30-minute taxi ride away from the historic city center. That is, on average, if the traffic is okay. To ensure that you have enough time to catch your next flight, I would not recommend doing a layover tour if your transit time is below 5 hours. That is, 1 hour for getting off the plane, clearing the customs and immigration, 30 minutes each way for traveling from and to the city center area from the airport. Again, if the traffic isn't too bad, and you need to come back at the airport around 3 hours before your flight. Any time above the 5-hour threshold will be your time to explore Mexico City. For instance, if you have a 6-hour layover, you get around 1 hour to explore the city, which isn't a lot of time for seeing a world-class mega metropolis with more than 21 million residents. But if you have, let's say 12 hours of layover all during daylight hours, you get 7 hours of exploration time, which will give you an opportunity to better appreciate what Mexico City offers. For both first-timers and returning travelers, checking out the historic city center area is the easiest and the most action-packed option. I'm always in awe no matter how many times I visit this area. This video will be focusing on what to see with a limited time frame, like a layover, in this UNESCO World Heritage Inscribed Zone. Now, why don't we flash back to the airport arrival area so I can show you how I did my layover step by step. In the arrival area, there is a baggage storage facility where you can deposit your bags for a fee. This will be handy, especially for those who will not be spending overnight at a hotel. Because my layover is overnight, so I'm actually gonna stay at a hotel in the city center. And now I'm just gonna order an Uber and it will take me directly to my hotel. You can meet the Uber driver near Puerta Teles, Gate 3. Like suggested earlier, traffic could be bad in Mexico City, so your ride might take longer to reach you, and the trip might also be longer than what's shown on Google Maps. My hotel is located right in the heart of Mexico City. I've made a separate review video on this property, so make sure to check out the link in the description box. It was already late when I arrived, so I grabbed a quick dinner right across the street and called it a night. That means, despite my layover was 21 hours, realistically, I only had an entire morning, roughly 5 hours of sightseeing time the next day. Alright. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's around 7 a.m. Let's not waste any time and head straight to some of the most famous landmarks of Mexico City. Let's go. Vamos. Yep, that's the charm of the historic city center of Mexico City. You can see so much in a relatively small area. Still, for quick layover tours, you are probably not gonna see everything. For our visit, we are going to focus on these two areas I circled on this map, Zócalo and Bellas Artes. Let's start with the Zócalo area, which is centered around the Zócalo. Its formal name is Plaza de la Constitución, the Constitution Square. So right now I am at Zócalo. It doesn't appear to be Zócalo at all because of the construction going on, but you can see the flag. This is apparently the symbol of Zócalo, and it's a huge Mexican flag. And Zócalo is the beating heart of Mexico City and also the country of Mexico. And if you go this way, this is the Metropolitan Cathedral, and this is absolutely the main church in Mexico City or even Mexico. And this is the conquistadors' first major monument after the conquest of the Aztec Empire. And it was believed that this church was built on the top of an Aztec temple. And if we turn this way,
And behind me, this is the presidential palace. Actually, I visited this place before, so if you have your ID with you, I think I used my driver's license from Canada, yeah, you can go in. There's some beautiful murals done by Diego Rivera. I highly recommend, and plus it's free to visit.
Realistically, the only attraction you as a first-time visitor on Layover should prioritize in going inside for a full tour is the Metropolitan Cathedral, which is also free to enter. Built between 1573 and 1813, this magnificent cathedral rivals and even surpasses some of the grand church buildings in Europe. Altar of the Kings inside the cathedral is definitely a must-see, and it leaves me speechless every single time I see it. Despite the entrance is free, it is expensive to maintain these grand monuments. That's why I chipped in a little, hoping that it would help with the preservation of the altar, even by making it lasting 1 second longer for the future visitors to appreciate the very same thing that I was seeing. This is strictly my philosophy. Certainly there's no need to donate if you don't feel like to. But I hope you'll at least take it as a consideration if you have also enjoyed your visit at the Metropolitan Cathedral, or any place that are open to the public for free. Right next to the Metropolitan Cathedral, you'll see the foundations of Templo Mayor, the old Aztec temple the conquistadors destroyed and built the Metropolitan Cathedral on. You can pay to enter and take a closer look at the ruins if this is something you're interested in. This is evident that the area where we call Zocalo today has always been a center of the city, no matter if it was called Tenochtitlan then or Mexico City today. Zocalo can be busy sometimes, either with events or political activities, so adjust your plan accordingly and pay attention to your belongings if it gets very crowded. If you're already happy with the amazing architectures and the number of things to do around the Zocalo area, that's great. No problem if you ended up staying your entire layover time there. It makes perfect sense. You also find plenty of great places for food. We're talking about the real deal, not just some tourist traps you see in Mexico's seaside resort cities. To reach the second area I'm going to introduce in the historic city center, you can follow along the bustling Madero Street. This street could get extremely crowded sometimes, and I was approached by a pickpocket gang that did not succeed there during my first visit. So again, be extra careful if you find yourself in a sea of people. There are some interesting architectures that are worth seeing, so I still recommend walking through this street if you feel like the crowd situation is manageable. On the other end of the street, you'll find Torre Latinoamericana, a landmark skyscraper, and now you'll find yourself in the Bellas Artes area. This area centers around one of Mexico's most elegant buildings, Palacio de Bellas Artes. Well, the interior of this building is very interesting. I don't recommend first-timers on layover going inside. Make it a reason for you to come back the next time. Instead, I do recommend checking out a hidden spot where you can enjoy the best view of this building. I'm talking about the cafe on the 8th floor of the Sears department store right across the street. Next to Palacio de Bellas Artes is Alameda Central, a public park with lots of shades. Ideal for taking a break if you get tired from all the explorations in the historic city center. Alameda Central is also where you will find an impressive monument dedicated to Benito Juarez, one of Mexico's most important presidents in history.
Wow, this park is so nice that I think I could easily stay a whole day just relaxing here.
Close to Alameda Central, you also find Mexico City's historic Chinatown to the south, and to the east, the Postal Palace of Mexico City. An impressive building that still is a functioning postal office today, where you can send out postcards. The interior of the building is said to be the inspiration of the Grand Central Station in Disney's 2017 movie Coco. Whether it is true or not, I guess you'll have to go in there and find out yourself. Because I had already been to Mexico City before, so it didn't take me that long to revisit places around the historic city center. This gave me some time to also explore along Paseo de la Reforma. This is an alternative to the historic city center if you want to focus on Mexico City as a modern metropolis, without being too far away from the city center. You can either walk the 3.5 kilometers from Alameda Central to Bosque de Chapultepec, or you can also take one of the double-decker metro buses running along this boulevard. Points of interest include the Monument to the Revolution, Chapultepec Castle, well, maybe only the exterior if you're on layover, and the Angel of Independence, another enduring symbol of Mexico City.
Yeah, so a good time is always sweet but short. So now I think this will be the last stop of my layover tour of Mexico City. Of course, this is a fantastic city, definitely worth multiple days. So a quick layover will just give you a taste of what it's like. And definitely this city deserves a week or even more. As far as I know, there are also other amazing places, not just in Mexico City but around it, which of course during layovers it's impossible to visit. But again, I hope you enjoyed our video on how to do a layover in Mexico City. So if you have found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so.
Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.